for the half kneeling single arm press, what you're gonna do is get into a half kneeling position, one leg forward, one leg back on this knee, grab padding for your knee if you need it, and tuck the toes in underneath you to keep your pelvis stable. From here, what you're gonna do is you're gonna grab your weight, kettlebell or dumbbell, whatever you're doing in your program, and you're gonna hold the weight on the opposite side to the leg that's forward. So my right leg's forward, you're gonna hold the weight in the left side. From here, I want you to begin the movement by packing in your lats. So what that means is basically just getting a little bit of a squeeze under the armpit here in the lat muscle. So I've got my dumbbell resting on my shoulder, but before I go, I'm also going to bring the shoulder down a little bit and think about squeezing or closing the gap between the back of my arm and my rib cage here. So closing the gap, see if you can feel a little bit of a squeeze in this muscle. It's okay if you don't, but if you can, squeeze that. From here, I like to use a fist on the opposite hand that's not working, just to give a little bit of cross body tension. From here, we're gonna keep the core tight and keep my rib cage stacked over top of my hip bones. And then I'm going to press the weight up. Bicep lands right by the ear, eyes are forward. And then from here, I'm gonna think about actively pulling down into this muscle that we activated at the beginning. So from here, I'm gonna start my slow, nice controlled pull down, and I should try to feel this muscle here as I'm pulling into that muscle. Dumbbell comes all the way down to the shoulder. We pack again by closing this gap, and then we drive up. So pulling into the lat muscle that we activated, and also driving up from that muscle when we press. Might get a little bit of tricep at the top there too. Pulling down, nice and controlled, almost focusing on the way down more than the way up, and then going again. And back. I'm also keeping a lot of tension in this glute here in order to keep my core stable. So don't forget your glutes, your toes, and your core when you're doing your presses. I'll show you some reps on the other side. So you're gonna switch sides, switch legs, keep the toe tucked. I'm going to engage my core, keep my glutes tight, rib cage over my hip bones. This foot's pretty stable in the ground too. Make a fist if you want to. Engage a lat and drive the weight up. And then back. You can also too, when you come to the top, the bicep's gonna land by the ear. You poke the head forward a little bit through the window that you're creating with your arm, and then pull back down. Doesn't have to be excessive, just as long as when you drive up, head lands ear to bicep.